Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. I'm with Alec again today. And in today's video, we're going to give you 5 real tips to improve at Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's real tips now.
Yeah, and by real we mean, we're not just going to tell you, oh, get good, or oh, just play more, or buy the best deck.
Really, it's so Facebook won't filter us.
Yeah, that. These are going to be things that you can actually do in real life, and you should see results from them. This should be really helpful, and at the end of the video, we also want to know any other tips you have, things that help you get better.
But we're the experts in this because we're on YouTube, so we don't really need your opinions. Number 1, you gotta have your goals.
Yes, goals. Relationship goals, life goals, they're always important.
Friendship goals, we got that.
Yeah.
No, not.
That is true.
That's where we do our handshake thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, goals are important in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that far too many people just play this game kind of without much direction.
Just sit down at the table, you play aimlessly.
Yeah, they'll just want to I'm just gonna play on Yugioh Pro all night and just, that's my practice.
Won't they just turn into autopiloting though?
Yeah, or I'm just gonna go to locals and just play a lot of people. Goals help. That kind of goes for everything, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! When I think of goals for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think of, winning locals one time. That can be a goal. Or let's start smaller. Get top 4 at your locals.
And some locals is only 4, so.
Yeah. Get top 4 at your locals. Then maybe win locals. Then win your locals for a straight month or back to back. And then you can move up to things okay, get top 16 at a regional, or then top 8 at a regional, or then top 32 at a YCS. And those kinds of things I think let you measure your progress.
And slay the gods. Say I want a 2-0 Patrick Hoban.
Yeah, or maybe a better example is just whoever the best player at your shop is.
Every shop has that best player.
Yeah, let your goal be beating him. That's, I think, really helpful with Yu-Gi-Oh! It makes it much better than, just playing aimlessly every weekend or every night on the computer, is really being able to gauge it. And if it has to be on the computer, that can work too.
Yeah, if you don't have people, it doesn't mean you can't have goals.
Yeah, Yugioh Pro, I'm gonna beat 10 people in a row.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I'll beat 30 people. Or I'll play for 15 hours straight and take no showers. Yeah.
That too. But yeah, goals are important. And that even applies to real life, I'd say, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're ever going to do anything in life that's competitive or even that takes effort, if you don't have set goals, you're going to fizzle out. Mm-hmm. Every single time. That's in sports, competitive gaming.
Yeah,
academics.
Yeah, just all of that. With your grades in school, you want to make an A, you have to I have to do this well on all these tests, or I have to, do this assignment to get these grades.
You think LeBron James became the best there is currently in the game? And that's right, he is the best currently in the game. He didn't just do it. He said he wanted to be that guy, and he did.
Yeah, and that applies to sports, applies to school, working out, eating healthy, all those great things. You do have to start somewhere and find a way to track your progress.
Mm-hmm. You think Trump got to where he is because he woke up one day and said, I want to be...
Next tip is...
find a dedicated practice partner.
Yes, that. Funny enough, we've actually decided, the two of us this summer are going to get really good at this game.
Friendship goals.
Yeah, it's
then we do our handshake thing. But yeah.
That. Find a practice partner. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think too many people will just kind of similar to the first thing I said, play aimlessly online, just playing online matches over and over and over and over against just random people. But
it's so inconsistent.
What are practice partners really for? They're there to help you identify your mistakes.
They're there to motivate you.
Yeah, motivate you, tell you, okay, these are the things you're doing wrong, or this is the stuff that's beating you consistently. These are the habits you can iron out. And it gives somebody, somebody else's perspective. And that applies to a lot of things in real life too.
Just off the top of my mind, I think of I don't know why boxing comes to mind, but every boxer has a guy in his corner watching his moves, watching his opponent's moves, because
like a coach.
They can see what you're doing wrong. They can see what your opponent's doing wrong. Even if you're not playing against them in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can a dedicated practice partner will help make you better. You can help make them better.
Yeah, it's like coaching because you're improving, they're improving. And whenever you're like rewatching matches, spoiler for later tips, you'll have like kind of somebody else to help you analyze your matches and help you do stuff like that. I think it really helps because playing alone is tough.
Oh my God.
Like in real life, when you write a paper in school, it helps to get a second set of eyes.
Look, I had thought of something awful. You just don't want to be that guy who sits alone all the time playing duels against himself. Sitting on your carpet.
Yeah, I actually low-key, when people do like those just like hand tests by themselves, it's just, I mean, those help too, but...
And you're like, I chain MST, I chain this, and then run back to the side.
Yeah, so tip number 3, record your matches. This is actually super important. It's too easy to just play a match and forget about it, whether you won or you lost. Finding, a way to record your matches, whether it's, replay files on DevPro or something, or, actually in real life, just camera, whatever, have a friend record your matches, it helps because you're able to go back and pinpoint the move, the turn, the whatever, the play, the interaction that caused you to lose wherever you did.
It's easy to remember that turn, the move you did to win.
Yep.
It's a whole other thing to actually figure out at what point did I lose.
Yeah, when did it all go wrong? And that's, one of those things too where like, what your thought process was when you made the mistake, right? You know what you were thinking when you made this play or when you chained this card, but being able to see that it's what caused you to lose can kind of help you eliminate that negative thought process out for next time.
And this isn't just self-contained. This isn't just you watching you. You're also watching your opponent's moves. What did my opponent do that made me think I should do this?
Yeah, and that's really helpful. Like being able to kind of look back and forth, see the interactions from like an armchair perspective. It's harder to think of stuff when you're in the hot seat and you're playing, but when you can look back at it, that really helps. And you can even like kind of use it with those earlier tips where it's like, you can kind of archive how much you've improved through watching your matches,
Goals.
Right? Yeah, goals.
Could you even have your practice partner watch them too?
Yeah, it's almost like these tips go hand in hand. Hand in hand.
Friendship goals. But
what's our next tip?
Okay, next tip is... Oh, yeah, look at my phone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
We're quite professional here at
usually
headquarters.
Okay,
where
my phone isn't turning on. Help me, Bob.
I've got the next tip. The next tip is similar to this tip. And it's finish your matches. Never scoop.
Don't scoop, man.
And this isn't meant to be like in the cheesy, never give up type of thing, which is fine too. It's genuinely don't scoop because you think you have a bad hand. Or don't scoop because you think the game is just, like he's got advantage, I'm just going to go to the next game.
Don't be a chronic first turn scooper too.
Yeah, like just none of the rage quitting. You really want to make sure that you look at like what looks like a bad hand, try to play it through. You don't know your opponent might have a bad hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say with deck building, the cards are in your deck for a reason. So even if the combination of them that you have is dead, it's probably only missing one card.
You might top deck exactly what you need.
Yeah, quintessential example, I play a lot of Blue Eyes. He knows. When I have a dead hand, I'm never just going to scoop outright because usually if I draw like one trade in, one cards with consonants, it can turn literally the entire hand into something different.
Draw 7 or 8 cards.
Yeah, and that applies to a lot of decks where, you might have a bunch of combo pieces that don't work and you get the one card that kind of pulls it together. And the same thing goes for when you think you're about to lose. Make your opponent play it out. Make them
earn it.
Yeah, make them earn it. They might make a mistake. It happens a lot. They might miscalculate, how much damage they need to put on the board, or they might have to do some long convoluted combo with a lot of steps, and then they mess up, and you can win from that.
Not to mention, if you're playing a match in tournament, I say play it out. If you're already kind of deep in the game, they've seen what you're playing. There's no point in just scooping right there.
Oh yeah.
See how they end games.
Yeah, get some information.
If you know like what combo they do to end the game, that can help you next round. It might not help you now.
It helps you with siding. You get to know more of the cards in their deck. Learn more about ratios, intel. Mm-hmm. Very good.
I was going to throw in a real world example. Hey, you ever notice that in like many popular sports, you just can't quit before it ends? No, like if you've seen maybe a football game or a basketball game, no matter how bad it's going, that clock's still gonna click. You're still gonna have to play. You can't just quit before it's done, because if you do that, you're eliminating all chance you ever had at winning or learning from it.
Yeah, you're removing accountability, because then you just get to use the excuse of I got sacked or I bricked, and it's it.
Yeah, when it really could have been, I played a pretty good game with what I had, but you know what? Had I changed my max C a little bit earlier, I could have stopped this turn.
And plus, when you're, recording these matches and rewatching them with your training partner and things like that.
Stop it, man.
Yeah, too much connections. Think about it. It really, that's kind of one of those things where, like, if you're trying to rewatch your matches, you have to finish your matches.
Yeah,
so
makes sense to me.
Kind of helps. And the last tip is kind of just a small one. The last tip's a small one, and that's play against a variety of decks, including your own. If you're trying to master a specific deck, I think the only way to really kind of master something is to pit yourself against it. Mm-hmm. Right? That helps you learn what it's like to face that deck, and so then when you use it yourself later, right? Like you're aware. You know kind of everything. You know your deck inside out, literally, like from both sides.
And that's not just knowing, it's easy to think, you'll learn your deck's weaknesses. But you'll actually see your deck's strengths in a new light.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times players, especially when you play a combo deck, you will just breeze through to your end game, like the end of your combo, and that's what you were supposed to do. You're a good player, quote unquote. But you can miss situations, like ugly little situations you can put your opponent in just because you think you know what you should be doing. By playing against your own deck, you see every card that is played in that combo. What happens when like the third piece to your combo starts making your opponent sweat? You don't even know. You don't even know.
You get a very good sense of that. A matchup we play a lot, actually, like DDDs versus Blue Eyes, is at first, like, I play Blue Eyes, I have like a Max C and like, some Veilers, but I never necessarily know like what would be the best card to use Effect Veiler on. Something that, we're probably gonna end up doing is I need to learn how to play DDDs. I'm not interested in playing the deck myself, but by using DDDs, I can learn for myself, like, okay, what are the cards that hurt the most when they get negated? Things like that. And so you can learn that about your own deck playing against it is, what's most effective when it gets Veilered or when it gets, stopped somehow.
Like, what do I need to save? What's okay to die early? Because to be honest, we always say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is these number of cookie cutter decks, and we play the same things over and over again, but that's not true. People choose different ratios, choose different techs.
Yeah.
And knowing how each and every one of your cards don't just affect for you, but how they affect your opponent
is a big deal.
It can make a huge difference.
Yeah, you gotta get that variety, know your cards in and out, know these decks in and out. And thanks to, DevPro and stuff, it's easy to just play any deck you want. So
you can request a deck to play against.
Yeah, you can request your opponent doesn't use an extra deck.
You can no Synchro XZs, Pendulum, so there'll be no Link.
Yeah, that's another topic for another time. So those are the 5 tips, in my opinion, real tips. Tangible tips that you can use to see some actual results.
I can't get back into my phone.
A thumbs up will help him get back into his phone.
Yes, better yet, just make some extra Gmail accounts and just subscribe.
Yeah, that helps as well.
Yes, every subscriber will help me get into my phone.
Yeah, so those are the tips. Let us know again in the comments, what are tips that you would offer to new players? Not just practice, but like, actual things that have helped you see improvement, see results. That's what we're here for. Anyways, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. You can follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, sponsor stuff. It's all down in the description. And
leave a like if you like it.
Yeah, sub if you love it. And without further ado, that's it. We end our turn.
Set one, pass turn.
Bye, guys.